Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This piece of thread is it's probably over 40 years old. I brought it with me when I came from England, and I used to do this trick as a teenager. I haven't done it since, but I thought I'd try it out, see if you like it, right? And I need a piece of thread, just show my hands there, I need a piece of thread that's about as long as my, yeah, that should be, yes, I need a long piece because it's going to represent my whole life. It's been a long life. Now, there's the thread, all right? Now, everyone's life is made up of lots of small events. And those events sometimes influence the direction they take, or you go the opposite direction. Okay? So for instance, when I was 9 years old, I learned my very first magic trick. And here we are, over 40 years later, still doing the magic. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but hey, that was a big event for me. When I was 13, I wrote my very first computer program. And interestingly enough, that computer program was called IROMS, which stood for Information Retrieval on Magic Shows. So my very first program helped me for my magic. Again, I'm not sure if that's something to be proud of or embarrassed by, but it is what it is. Then, when I was 18, I went to college, and I studied computer science. And I stayed there much longer than I expected, and I did pretty well. And when I got out, I got a great job, and I was very, very excited. And the job was going really, really well. But 2 years in, my boss, who I admired, he went to prison for bribery and corruption, and the company went down. This was not part of my plan, let me tell you that right now, when I joined. And so I decided that this was a great opportunity to get out of Dodge, so I moved to Texas. And I was working for IBM. Now when I was at IBM, things were going pretty well. I met my beautiful wife, Laurie, and shortly after that we had our first child. It was about 3 years, just in case, anywhere is here. And when my son was born, I realized I was spending too much time in the office. So I wanted to start working from home. So I started a new company, and with some friends, and this was in 1995. And it was an internet company. And it was quite exciting. We're running out of thread here. And a little piece of thread at the end here. This company did really, really well, and for 5 years we kept growing and getting bigger, and it was exciting. And then the dot-com crash hit in 2001. Now you guys are probably all too young, apart from Dan maybe, to remember the dot-com. But it really was a shock, because we thought we were on track. And then within 3 months it all went away, and I was left with this tiny little thread. You see that? You can barely see it. And I thought, what am I going to do now? You know? And so with this little thread, I decided I'd start a new company called Digital Cheetah. And it was the smallest thread I had, but it's now lasted almost 20 years. And all these different threads all began, if you remember, from this little magic trick. And although it looks like these threads are all separate and disjoint, they're really all part of one thing. And in fact, if we kind of join it on the thread here, you can see. Now, they really aren't separate. They're just one part of what I like to call my life. Thank you very much. Thank you. We got there eventually, didn't we? And that was the trick when I did when I was a teenager. Another trick I did when I was a teenager was this trick. And this is a trick with 9 cards, all right? We've got the 8 of hearts. Can you all see the 8 of hearts? And we've got the 8 of hearts. We've also got, another 8 of hearts. It's very easy to remember these cards because they're all the same. So you don't have to have too much in the way of memory here. There's another 8 hearts, there's another 8 of hearts there. In fact, if you saw my first routine, there was a big memory trick we had to do. We don't have to do that here. Another 8 of hearts here. And there's one more. And there's the King of Spades. You see the King of Spades? Now the King of Spades is a special card because it's got so much ink on it. If you rub in a special way, you can turn an 8 into a king. You see that? Watch this again.
Yeah, we went last year.
Now sometimes you've got to put it through the hand first and then give it a click. Will it change? Do you want to hold out your two hands? Open up, see what you got. Two kings, alright. Now, this is where it gets tricky because now you're all watching, alright? So there's no, now there's no confusion, alright? So we've got these two kings, and you can see we've got the 8 in the middle. And if you look, that king has got a red back, alright? Let's place that one down there, and these have got two red backs too, but there's no 8s.
Oh yeah.
There's a king there, you see. It's got a red back. Turn that one over there. There we go. 1, 2. Right at the fingertips. I'm trying to do everything without any funny moves. There's the king. Look, turn that over. 1, 2. And the last one. I did this when I was 12. You know, what are you going to do? 1, 2. So that is what we call proof of a misspent childhood. Thank you.
No one play poker with them.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
what sort of crowd do we have here? Do we have an Exorcist crowd or a Bambi crowd?
Never mind.
What do you think?
Exorcist.
All right. Go straight for the jugular. Okay. Now, who goes to the movies these days? Anyone go to movies? Yeah. Or do you still go to movies? See, I used to go to movies all the time when I was growing up, but these days I stream nearly everything, you know, in the privacy of my own. Well, what is it? Lounge. Yeah, lounge. You've got the big TV and you get up there.
Oh yeah.
And
It's not like it's funny. It's way better.
do you want to take these? I've got 32. These are all horror movies, the classic horror movies, all right? Just, I've got some here. I'm going to talk about these ones, but just look at those, make sure they're all different. But I'm just going to talk. These are just a few that have some meaning to me. But everyone has, because they're classic movies, everyone has different meanings about different horror movies. Now, we could have gone with the other movies, the the non-horror, but Bambi was just one. It was just the tip of the iceberg. But that's good. Pour that in for the young kids. The Blair Witch Project. Now, my wife, there she is, and my kids, they really freaked out by this.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was okay, but it didn't do much for me. But, you know, this one, The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, 1963. This is a scary movie. See, the thought of the birds getting the idea, wow, we can take over if we want. You know, what are we going to do? They can fly, for heaven's sake. You know, we've always seen Game of Thrones, haven't we? You know, they could fly, couldn't they? That's the key. So I thought that was pretty scary. Now, Misery. Now, if you've ever seen Misery, who's seen Misery here? No?
I have.
All right. Well, there's a scene in there where Kathy Bates, who's the crazy person, she hobbles James Caan, and once you've seen that scene, you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. It's very, very scary. Then The Shining. Now, another one, Jack Nicholson, right? Here's Johnny. It's another scary movie. And look, you may have noticed that we've got Misery, The Shining, and Carrie. These are all Stephen King movies, all based on Stephen King books. Carrie. Now, Carrie. At the end of Carrie, there's a scene where the hand shoots up from the grave. Now, back when this came out in the 70s, that was a new thing. That sort of shock horror was not done. So when I went to see this at the movie theater, everyone leapt out of their seat. They were really scared. Now, how often do you see these things when people leap out of their seat? It doesn't happen so much, does it? So that was pretty neat. Now, talking of scary, we got The Exorcist, the scariest movie of all time. I saw this when I was 13 years of age. I should have been 18. But I was a big teenager, wasn't I? I thought I could sneak in under the wire. And I wish I hadn't, because I had to keep my light on for a whole week. I couldn't sleep. I mean, I was that scared. And there's a scene in The Exorcist where every time you're going up the stairs, you're going to go up into where the devil is in Regan's room. And I always used to say, we don't need to go upstairs. Why don't we stay downstairs and have a cup of tea? It's fine, we know what's going on up there. But we did anyway. Now, the other thing that's cool about The Exorcist is the soundtrack. The soundtrack, Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells. Now, you may not know this, but Tubular Bells was the very first album for Virgin Records. And he's been milking that for 50 years, I tell you. He's done pretty well there. But so these are just some of my favorite movies. And you've got some more. So you take them all. I want you to take them all. Yes, you take them all. And I want you to, I'm just going to turn away, but I want you to focus on the poster of any one of those movies, anyone at all. You don't have to show anyone else, you can keep it yourself if you want, there's no problem. So I'm just going to look away. But I want you to focus on it. Once you've got it in your mind, just think about it. There's no way I would know what it is.
The ones that you had, or just any of them?
Oh, it's got to be. Oh no, I was just explaining.
Okay.
I was trying to basically that's my memories. So because see, it's a memory that I can read on. It's hard if I don't pick up on that. All right. It's all good stuff. So if you look at they're up, by the way, they are all different, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what you've got now, if you turn that movie over, you'll see on the back of it there are 16 different movies.
When they're fucking saying.
Well, yeah, you
Oh, I
should.
shuffled, sorry. Okay,
No,
found it.
just take the card out
Yeah.
and turn the card over that you just looked at.
Yeah.
Just turn it over, and if you look, you'll see there's 16 movies, including the movie you've chosen. All right. Now, what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to read those movies out in any order. I don't mind what order you do, but when you get to your movie, can I turn around now or not? Or maybe I won't turn around.
That's you.
Can I turn around? I don't want to see. You see, I don't want to
Alright,
see.
in any order?
Yeah, read out.
Alright, Friday the 13th, Texas.
And by the way, when you read your movie, don't change your voice.
Okay.
You can't see. You've got it in your mind now. So don't change your voice.
Okay.
All right.
Chainsaw Massacre. What's that? No, that one.
How do I talk?
The Invisible Man, The Exorcist, Fly, Alien, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Wolfman, Hellraiser, Wicker Man, The Shining. Something for
All right, I'm getting an impression.
yeah.
It's hard to get an impression of you. Were you thinking of The Shining? Is that the movie you're thinking of? Is it really? Okay, let's see what. What was your name again? Torian. Torian. Do you want to take the cards? Yeah. And just choose. I'm going to look away and choose any movie. I don't care which one it is. Anyone, whatever one it jumps to your mind. But focus on the imagery. The imagery. Who knew there were so many hard horror movies to say? It was easy if I should have gone with the other ones, the Bambi ones. They're easy to say those ones. Disney, yes. They aren't all Disney.
Well, I came over here, I heard you talking about Stephen King. I was like, what's that?
Well, it's funny because 3 of my favourite ones are all Stephen King.
Oh, I love Stephen King.
How you getting on, Dorian?
Oh, good, got it.
So, all right. So just can I turn around? I don't want to see it, but yeah. All right. So just read them out in any order, but don't when you come to your one, don't change your voice. It's key because some people say, oh, he's changing his voice, but I'm reading your mind. It's the key thing here.
Misery, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Invisible Man, Nosferatu, Hellraiser, Wolfman, Friday the 13th, Alien, Frankenstein, Blair Witch, The Fly, The Wicker Man, The Exorcist, Evil Dead, The Amityville Horror, The Mummy, and Halloween.
All right. Now, it's funny because you had an impact when I turned that first movie over, didn't you? There was a change in you. The Blair Witch Project. That was the one, wasn't it? Yeah. That was the one you. Oh, that's it. All right. Now,
I was really trying to tell him.
do you want to have a go? Give him. He's keen.
I know, he's
keen as a
skeptic
badger.
over here.
He's a non-believer.
You guys have no idea how hard this is. You know, I can barely hear anything. Everything's been cut out. All right, I'm gonna look away. Let me look away. Make sure I don't see anything, Stevie.
Okay, ready?
All right. You've got to focus on the movie itself. Yeah. All right. Okay. Read them out. And you remember, you read them in any order at all. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit me.
The Shining, Carrie, Reanimator, Get Out, Dracula, Dawn of the Dead, The Birds, Evil Dead, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Babadook, Rosemary's Baby, Saw, The Omen.
All right. You can stop there. This was an evil movie, wasn't it? Was it The Evil Dead? Yeah? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Now, having demonstrated my powers of mind reading, we're going to try something else. Now, who was... Dan, you haven't helped me yet, I don't think. I'm trying to choose people who haven't helped me yet. What we're going to do, we're going to do some mind reading, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to win some money as well, which is kind of a win-win, isn't it? So I'm going to get 20 bucks out. Yes, $20. And I'm gonna ask you to think of a card.
Think of a card?
Any card.
Okay.
All right. Change your mind. That was too easy.
Okay.
Yeah, I got. We could be. I want to milk it out a little bit.
All
All
right.
right. You got a new one.
I got a new
All right?
one.
All right.
I got a new one.
Now focus on the value and the suit.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to get that card. If I get it wrong, you're going to be winning some money. Okay?
All right.
So you're thinking of just the value. I'm going to try to get the value first. For $20, you're thinking of 7. You're not thinking of a 7.
No.
You know, I just demonstrated how good I am. You know what I'm saying here? Okay. What was the number then?
4.
You see, when you write those down, you know, you get confused with 7s and 4s. What do you think it's like in the mind? I mean, it's crazy talk up there. So it's so easy to get that wrong, isn't it? Tell you what, let me spend another $20 trying to get the suit, because hopefully I can do better. I can't believe I got that wrong, because that's so annoying.
Take it.
All right,
All right.
No matter what.
let's go for the suit, okay?
All right.
It's a heart.
One out of 4.
It's a tough cookie.
I got 3 movies, bang, 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 didn't I?
Still trapped.
What was the, you know what? It's the no hair, you see?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it didn't work out.
No.
It's the shine.
Yeah.
Shine,
See,
yes.
Yeah, that's transmitting.
Shine,
See,
yes.
there's nothing happening over there.
Right.
What was the suit?
Clubs.
There's no excuse, is there, really, for that? I'll tell you what, let me try to get, I'm going to bet another
Now,
$3, see if I
before
can get the name of the card, all right?
Before you told me to change my mind, it was
No,
hard.
it's not going to, all right.
Too honest.
Yeah.
All right, the $20, I'm going to name your card. The 4 of clubs.
Right.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Thank you. You don't seem very impressed. I'll tell you what. Let's do. We're going to play.
Beautiful.
We're at $60 now. Why don't we do double or nothing?
All right.
All right. What I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to impress you. I'm going to double the stake to $120. And if I can impress you, I keep the money. But if I can't, you walk away with the cash. Is that fair?
Fair.
All right. So I need another 60.
Dan seems hard to impress. I wouldn't try it.
I'm out of cash. That means I'm just going to have to impress you. All right.
All right.
I knew all along you were going to choose the 4
You've
of
already
clubs.
impressed me.
I knew all along you were going to choose the 4 of clubs because on the back of this bill I wrote the word 4. On the back of this bill I wrote the word of. And on the back of this bill I wrote the word clubs.
Whoa.
Dan, you were in on.
Thank you.
Dan wasn't in on.
Thank you guys. All right.